All right, 23 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. One of my things I'm the most grateful for is that somehow God saw fit to make me a parent. It is in my mind, if you ever get a chance to thank your Creator, I mean, that's the one thing I'm going to thank Him for above everything else. Just thank you for giving me that experience. It was one of the greatest experiences. Our next guest has written a book called Mothering with Courage, The Mindful Approach to Becoming a Mom Who Listens More, Worries Less, and Loves Deeply. Bonnie Compton is the author. She is a child and adolescent therapist, a parent coach, a pediatric nurse practitioner. She hosts her own podcast radio program called Wholehearted Parenting Radio, and she does workshops and retreats, and we're going to find out about the book right now. Bonnie Compton. Good morning, Bonnie. Thank you for being on the air with us.
Good morning, and thank you for that wonderful introduction, and I'm right there with you. I believe I was put on this earth to be a mom. It's my greatest joy.
You know, and I think so, I don't know if I can't speak in generalizations because you're always wrong when you do that, but it seems like generally women get that and men learn that. It's like I had no idea how much I was going to enjoy being a father until I was one, but it's almost like women know. I can't wait.
I would say many women know, but there are some who don't, that said they never even thought about being a mom. It just wasn't, or they weren't sure they could be a mom or wanted to be. So I think, yes, you often hear women, it comes to them more naturally, but there are certainly some women and some who choose not to have children, and that's their, own choice.
Yeah. The other day we saw some kids at a local Steak and Shake, and it was about 11 o'clock, and they were out from the prom. So all these beautiful dresses and these beautiful young ladies and these handsome young men. And I kidded Robin. I said, right now the father is looking at his watch going, where are they? Where are they?
That's right. That's right. And what are they doing?
It's 11 o'clock. Where are they? And Robin said, no, in today's day and age, they look at their phone and they know exactly where they are. And I said, whoa, I didn't realize that. Yeah.
That is true. The tracking devices, yes.
So how many children do you have?
I have 4 adult children and 3 granddaughters, beautiful granddaughters.
Oh, my gosh.
I have been on both sides of parenting.
So talk about worry a little bit, because some people will say worrying is a good thing. It's the mother of prevention. Others will say worrying is an unnecessary waste of time. What do you think? I think sometimes worry may have a purpose.
Worry does have a purpose, but our bodies, our brains were designed to worry when we were in danger. The problem is our nervous systems have become overstimulated, and so we worry much more than we need to. And in parenting, we often make parenting decisions out of our own parental anxiety. Hal Runkle, who wrote Screen-Free Parenting, talks about this. And when we're parenting from our own parental anxiety instead of our parenting principles, we're not effective as parents. So worrying, what if my child doesn't study for that exam? What if they don't get into the top school? What if they don't make the swim team? What is going to happen? Those are not productive worries. And then what we end up doing as parents is often trying to control our children's behavior to calm down our own anxiety.
Controlling their behavior, oh my gosh, there's good times for that and bad times for that, I'm sure. What about
I actually would say, if I can, there's never a good time to control your child's behavior. What happens when you try to control someone?
They resist.
They resist, absolutely. None of us like to be controlled, right? So our children certainly don't.
Yeah.
So it's really more about guiding them and then allowing them to experience the consequences.
Okay, using the baby years as an example, I want to tell you a thought I had back in the baby years. Now, I don't know that this applies in the teenage years, but in the baby years, I always had my son by the hand when we got to the curb, and I always went through the routine. You got to look left, you got to look right, you got to look left, and you got to be sure. And then I would always hold his hand, and I would watch sometimes other parents that were not so protective. And I didn't know if I was being too protective or not, but I felt like, well, better safe than sorry, I don't know. What do you think?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, you need to keep your child safe. But that can be, the advent of the helicopter parenting. that is when you are trying to protect your child so much that they are not learning responsibility, because you're there to make sure everything is done for them. So, of course, when you cross the street with your child, you want to do that, especially if you have a child that's just going to run out in the street. However, allowing a child, say your teen is not studying for a big exam and you know it's coming up, and they don't seem to be bothered by it, but your anxiety is ramping up as a parent, right? Oh my gosh, this is a huge exam, this is going to affect their grade in an AP course or whatever. And you keep saying, don't forget, your exam is coming up, your exam is coming up. Well, you're then taking responsibility for this for your child and also trying to control, and so they resist. Instead, let them, how can I support you in helping you study for this exam? But give them responsibility. If they fail that exam, that is a lifelong lesson they're going to learn. They're going to learn that so much quicker than if you just keep lecturing them or hand-holding with them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So safety versus allowing them to experience and learn. You really will, the whole thing about parenting, I had a mom in my office one day, and I said, what is your goal in parenting? And she said that my daughter listened to me. And I said, okay. Do you want her to listen to you inside the home? Absolutely. She needs to do that. What about outside your home? Yes, that too. I said, how is she going to learn to listen outside the home unless she is experiencing and making decisions for herself? Because as a mom, as a parent, we cannot be there all the time, nor should we be.
And was it a hard pill for her to swallow?
It was, because her feeling was, and this was out of her own anxiety, I need to, basically what she was saying is, I don't trust my daughter enough to make responsible decisions. She needs to listen to me because I know best. And it was coming from love, but it was she had a difficult time shifting her perspective about, here's the thing. Moms have a unique ability, I believe, in helping shape their child's future. And by planting the seeds, nurturing, guiding them, not trying to control their behavior, and shaping their future so that they can go out into the world and make healthy decisions for themselves and become responsible, healthy adults. And I often tell parents, the messages you send your children, they take them out into the world. And so positive, healthy messages, which includes allowing her daughter, saying to her, the message being sent is, I trust you're going to be able to handle this. Giving her permission and acknowledging that message is huge, because then she can go out in the world, even through the mistakes she's made. She's learned from them. They're doing research now about the effects of helicopter parenting, and researching in colleges. They are flooding, college students are flooding the counseling centers because they have had their hands held so much through love, through parents wanting to protect them, that they don't know how to make a decision themselves, and they don't know how to fail. They're devastated when they fail because they've never had to fail.
I know some students like that. I mean, they're graduating from high school in June, and now they are going into college, and they're really scared because even though they're going there with their friends, they're still scared because they're going to be away from home, and they have all of this responsibility right in front of them.
And yes, and it's a time of transition, and so it's very normal to be anxious about it. But the biggest gift parents can give their teenagers, especially junior, senior year, is loosen the reins and allow them to do more for themselves so that when they get to college, they are prepared. They're not paralyzed by fear.
And you also have this as a twofold purpose, because once you allow your child to breathe and go out on their own and make their decisions while still living at home, if there's something that they don't feel right about, they can come back and ask their dad or their mom and have a good conversation with them.
Yes, absolutely. And the key to this is when your child does have, you want to be building these connections and sending this message, I am here to guide you, not to punish you. Yes, there will be consequences for your behavior, but you made a mistake. And that's what we learn from our mistakes. How do you want to do it differently next time? It's when a teen comes back to their parent and hears, I told you so, what were you thinking? That they're not going to want to talk to you.
Bonnie Compton is our guest. The book is called Mothering with Courage. Bonnie has already told me that she's a mother and a grandmother, so I'm wondering about the grandmother role. Are you in different mode or in different gear, not just for your children, because they're adults, so it's obviously a different relationship. Just like with my son, it's a totally different relationship now that he's an adult. He's 30, yeah. He's going to be 31. But with your grandchildren, are you a mother to the grandchildren? In other words, do those genes kick in for you?
No, I'm not a mother to them because, well, I would say I am mothering them because I believe we are all mothering in our life. But I'm not their mom, mm-hmm. and I'm very clear about that. And so I'm there to love them and acknowledge them for who they are, their true essence. And I'm there to help, guide, however my daughters want me to help, but no, I am not there to be their mom.
And the children, they really have, once they're brought up in this type of good environment, when they have siblings, they can be mentors to the siblings, and the siblings will learn firsthand all of that reciprocity of respect.
Sure, absolutely. Those are the first relationships in life, are within our own family. And so we're all there to learn from each other and to teach each other. And I believe children are our best teachers in teaching not only their siblings, but teaching us as parents.
We broadcast from the local mall, and we have a window on the sidewalk. We can see the people, and quite often we'll see, especially like at the beginning of the school year, which now we're at the end of the school year, but we'll see like moms with their children walking in. It's just such a wonderful thing to see. Do you think just hanging out makes a difference? And I wonder if you could comment a little bit on the relationship of a father with the children who are his, like the father with son, father with daughter, mother with son, mother with daughter.
Yeah, because dads are real important too.
Yeah.
They are, absolutely, and dads are really much more hands-on now in this present generation, which is wonderful. And I tell dads, I said, you are your daughter's first role model in how she should be treated by a man. So how you treat your daughter, how you treat your wife is so important, and same hand in hand with moms and sons. And, in terms of special time, one of the first homework assignments, I call it, that I give parents when I work with them is to carve out special time with each child. And sometimes when parents are overwhelmed, and they often are, they look at me like, you've got to be kidding. I am spending so much time with them. But I said, this is a different kind of time. This is not time saying, did you do this, did you do this, or hurry up, we need to get in the car and go. This is sending a message, I love you and I care about you and you matter to me. So saying even to your teen, even if they're rolling their eyes at you, I've worked with so many teens that said, I wish my parents would spend more time with me. Just saying, you know what, I miss hanging out with you. We used to do stuff together when you were little. I just want to hang out, and let them come up with something they want to do. And they may not want to talk the whole time, and that's fine. Working on a project together, doing something that's fun, learning. Say, hey, can you teach me how to do this on the computer? Get into their world. With smaller children, saying to them, I just love spending time with you. Let's put it on the calendar. Let's spend, if you do it every day, that's great, special time. And what this time does, you're not correcting them. If you have a child you're playing a game with and they're cheating, so to speak, you don't try to correct them at that time. You just say, I see you really like to win, or you love to change the rules here, and just be playful with it. And the result of this special time together is you begin to see your child in a different light, from a different perspective. It really is their true essence, who they are, not the behavior.
The book is called Mothering with Courage, The Mindful Approach to Becoming a Mom Who Listens More, Worries Less, and Loves Deeply. Bonnie Compton is the author and our guest. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back to finish the conversation with Bonnie. This is The Source, WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Monday, times of clouds and sun, breezy and quite warm with a shower near the coast in the morning. The high 86 at the coast, 92 inland. Partly cloudy Monday night with a shower or thunderstorm in the area. Low 67 and a few inland spots, 74 along the coast. For Tuesday, times of clouds and sunshine with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm likely, the high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
And small dogs, they can be aggressive. Have you seen this? The dog most likely to bite other dogs, strangers, or even their vet, it's the dachshund. Our eyes should never have to tilt more than 10 degrees to read something. Otherwise, we're more likely to crane our neck up or down, which raises our risk for neck and backaches. People living near a Target store have homes that have increased in value by 5 to 8% more than the national average.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Next Generation MD is the future of healthcare now. Listen in the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. to learn how the future in PRP treatments are here in our area. Find out the many ways that Dr. Juan Jordan, MD, Charles Brooks, NP, and case manager Mark Shaw have brought the family medicine practice to a new level. Hear from the very people that benefit from the fine work they have done in this field. Next Generation MD every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. here on WOCA 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
The Riverland Baptist Church in Dunellen is inviting local teens to their Youth Explosion to see Bob Holmes, known as the one-man volleyball team, and hear his amazing testimony to fight bullying, teen suicide, and the dangers of drugs and alcohol. May 3rd, 4th, and 5th at 7 p.m. each day. Prize giveaways include the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, hoverboards, tablets, and so much more. This is a free event. Don't miss it. For more information, go to riverlandbaptistchurch.com.
All right, 6 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Bonnie Compton is on the phone. She's a child and adolescent therapist, and her credentials just go on and on, but I would be taking your time if I read them all again. Her book is called Mothering with Courage, The Mindful Approach to Becoming a Mom Who Listens More, Worries Less, and Loves Deeply. Bonnie, thank you for waiting through the break. In your practice, there must have been something that led to the book. Is there a story behind how the book came into being?
Yeah. Yes, there is. It actually began years ago before my practice. Based on my own childhood, the pain and joy of my childhood. My parents did the best they could. Being a mom of 4 kids, and then having my own practice, and seeing the number of moms in particular that were overwhelmed and down in the trenches of mothering and wanting to be the best mom and not knowing how to get there and looking outside themselves for answers. And you know, there's over 100,000 parenting books on the market now. And which one do you turn to? Mm-hmm. And they're very good, there's many that are very good and I recommend them. I wanted to write this book for moms because I believe they have their own answers inside. And when they learn to trust their inner knowing, their intuition, they then can discover what really matters for themselves and their kids. So I wrote Mothering with Courage with sound parenting advice in there. There's parenting information, research-based. There's also anecdotes. There's clinical situations, which I talk about. And that they are then, after learning, reading each chapter, there's journaling prompts at the end for questions, and it's really a self-reflective book. And I've had so many moms say that had advanced reading copies, I have learned more about myself in your book. I now have a better understanding of who I am and my child, and I'm much more calm and confident as a mom, and I'm loving being a mom again.
That's awesome. Wow. That's like you hitting a home run to get that kind of comment.
This is the feedback I'm getting. And so someone said to me, what are you going to do when reviews start coming out? Is that going to be scary? And I said, no, because it's not. I didn't write this book for reviews.
Yeah,
I
really.
wrote this mom, and it has inspired and empowered moms to really take a look and see what's important. The other thing I've been told by some that endorsed it and some moms, this book is so much more than mothering. And it's for moms of all ages, even grandmothers. And I just want to say it's never too late in your relationship with your child, never, to go back and talk to them and own what you need to own and say, I wish I could have a do-over and do that piece of it again.
And that's where the courage comes in, is to take the first step.
Absolutely. It takes courage to open your eyes, open your heart, be willing to see it from a different perspective, to rise above and say, oh, my child's meltdown here that is driving me crazy, that I was taking personally and we're constantly battling every day. I'm seeing it differently now. And having, one mom said to me, Bonnie, since I've been reading your book, my 8-year-old said, Mom, you're so much nicer. She said, because I began to see her in a different light. And so anyway, I've been so grateful to hear everything I've heard from moms.
So
those are the reviews that just touch my heart.
So I have a thought. Buy one for yourself or somebody who's a young mom, any age person really, but keep one in your car all the time, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to be at the parking lot at the mall, and you're going to see that one mom who is saying, "Stop it! We're not buying it. We're not." And you know what? Here, read this book. And
That's a cool idea.
I love that idea. However, I've had some people say, so I want to buy this for my daughter or my granddaughter. I had a dad, actually. I did a book signing at Barnes & Noble a couple of weeks ago here in Charleston, South Carolina, and he's dad of a grown son, and he said, I went through divorce, and I had a daughter, too, and he said, I have this strained relationship with my daughter. We talk, but I really want to give her this book, but I don't know how to do it. I said, how about if you start the conversation with, I wasn't a perfect parent. I wish I could do things differently.
Wow.
Yeah,
and start there, because I believe the moms who are shaping their children's future and have the ability to do this are healing generations. And there's a lot of generational pain out there. So moms and dads can say, you know what? I wish I had known better. Just as Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. And so I wrote this book so that moms will know better and no longer hold on to the guilt and regret.
Nice.
The mama guilt, the gift that keeps on giving, as I say, because they can make the conscious choices day to day.
Bonnie, thank you so much. I just found the book on Amazon. We're just about out of time, but I want to re-mention the title, Mothering with Courage, and Bonnie Compton is the author. Thank you so much, Bonnie.
Thank you, and follow me on social media, Bonnie Compton Books. I'm going on a media tour, and I thank you all so much. Today is day one. I appreciate it.
There you go. This is WOCA Ocala.
I'm Pat O'Neill. President Trump calls it the toughest decision he's made so far as president, ordering the strike on Syria in retaliation for using chemical weapons.
When you say yes, that means there's death. And death is very tough. It's very tough.
The president interviewed on Sirius XM also not ruling out military action against North Korea. May Day marches with worker rights the focus in Spain, Turkey, Poland, and elsewhere.
Thousands of protesters in Greece voicing their concerns about the latest austerity measures. And workers' unions in France are also holding May Day rallies as election campaigning continues.
Fox's Kitty Logan. Crime data examined by Associated Press finds that student-on-student sexual assaults jumps during middle school years. But kids can be at risk as early as kindergarten and first grade. Fox News. We report, you decide.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms. Frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Council.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Well, peanut farmers are thinking about a new term that they're not familiar with called sustainability. It's a grassroots recognition of consumers and industries that purchasing patterns are directly affected by the economic and environmental impact of agriculture. And this recognition is changing purchasing powers. Sustainability exists throughout the entire peanut chain, according to Marshall Lamb of the National Peanut Lab. And this is marketable to consumers if you have a good story. Peanuts have an excellent story to tell, he said. Our sustainable footprint is because of the inherent characteristics of the peanut, as well as the proactive industry initiatives by various segments of the industry, including manufacturers. He said the peanut plant uses less water than any other nut. It is intermittent flowering and fruiting. The leaf thickness and structure, the canopy structure, the foliage biomass, water use efficiency, legume and efficiency fertilizer use. You didn't have to apply a fertilizer. Global positioning, he said. The irrigation improvements, advanced scheduling, all of it adds up. And he said the majority of the peanuts are produced in an area where the rainfall each year is over 50 inches. He said, I would argue that U.S. peanuts are sustainable, produced, handled, processed, and delivered to the consumer. He said the peanut industry is moving ahead to make this a top priority.
Hey, Mike, what's the word today?
Well, the way crop prices fluctuate, I might try to save money on my nutrition program this year. What do you think?
Well, did you end up using Black Max 22 last year? It's been part of our nutrition program the last 5 years, and it can put between $10 and $50 an acre into my pocket year after year.
Oh, that's the one you told me about. It's designed to help my soil provide nutrition better and cut down on burn from fertilizer, right?
That's LHC technology.
Okay, I think I'll give old Black Max 22 a try.
Black Max 22. If you feed it, you need it. See your local CPS retailer today.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front-end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an